So our next talk, and it's the last one of this session, is going to be given by Dr. Cristina Martinez Lombilla. And the talk is Astronomy for a Better World. She's at the UNSW and also a member of SRAP. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I apologize because of my voice that maybe it's not working very well. I think, I got a cold from my son's daycare this week, not COVID, I got tested, so sorry. So today I'm going to talk to you a bit about what us as astronomers we are doing for having a better world. Astronomy is a powerful source of motivation and it's an inspirational science, maybe more than any other, that is able to engage the community. And Eclipse, for example, is one of the best examples that is able to engage millions of people all over the world. Even many of them move long distances just to have a better spot to see the event. So today I'm going to talk to you a couple of initiatives we are doing for living in a better world. How do we change here? Okay, I'm gonna keep talking a little bit. So one particular thing about astronomy is that, as you all know, astronomy tries to find out how the universe was formed, how it evolves, but astronomy actually is a link between many different kind of science, and not only science, but also, for example, maths, any kind of engineer, space science, but also is extremely linked to history, as no matter the place in the world we are, no matter the culture, no matter even the time in the history, we as humans have been always used astronomy for predict weather, make calendars, know how to go to a particular place, where to build our buildings. Also, astronomy tries to answer very deep questions for us as human beings, like, for example, how we get here, what was happening before the Big Bang, is there any kind of life out there? So it's very attached to our self-being as human beings. So it's maybe the science that has this amazing power. It's like an amazing educational vehicle to empower and inspire the people out there. So I'm going to show you a few interesting projects that has been done or that are being carrying out right now. Not all of them, because that would be impossible. So when talking about how astronomy helps the world, probably the first things that comes to my mind is Astronomy for Development. This is an office mainly carried out by the International Astronomical Union with a couple of South African institutions. So this office since 2013 have founded more than 200 projects with more than $1.4 million. These projects have been developed in all over the world in more than 100 countries. And as the people from this office said, Astronomy for Development is not about the people. It's about not about the stars. It's about the people. So what they try to do is to use astronomy as a tool for development. Every project has to impact in at least one of these sustainable development goals. And here you have the distribution of that impact, being the number 4, quality education, the most popular, but also reduced inequalities. One of the projects within this OAD is AMANAR, Under the Same Sky. This is a project led by astronomers in the Canary Islands in Spain, in collaboration with associations with friendship with the Sahrawi people. So what they aim is to inspire children and teachers from the Sahrawi refugee camps in Algeria. And they try to promote quality science education and to enhance their resilience and engagement with the community. So they not only work with the students, but also they train the teachers. At some point, they come to the Canary Islands. Here you have a photo in the largest optical telescope in the world, in La Palma. And then the MNR team goes to also to the refugee camps. So this is a very interesting project I wanted to let you know. It's impossible to talk about all the projects of this office. So the other one I wanted to talk a little bit is astronomy for blind, visually impaired communities in Latin America. I found this a beautiful project because it's very difficult to explain someone who is visually impaired what a galaxy is and or how the moon looks like, because the only tool that we have is light. So these people manage to teach people, to teach teachers, and to make and develop resources for these students to being able to have an idea of, for example, how is a galaxy with these amazing 3D models of galaxies or the moon or even the planets in the solar system. Moving on, there are many other great initiatives outside of this Astronomy for Development office. For example, we have Astronomers for Planet Earth. This is a volunteer network, a huge network that is running since 2019 all over the world. They aim to fight against climate change and for climate justice, or claiming that there is not planet B and there's no way we can move to any other planet. So they offer many kind of resources online for teaching or learning, and they also have developed different kind of research works in order to look for ideas on how astronomy and astronomers can reduce our carbon footprint. And on that regard, there is a group of Australian astronomers that have done research about how much carbon emissions the average Australian astronomer emits, or due to the average emissions per Australian astronomer, let's say, due to 4 different sources that we usually need for our work, like supercomputing, flights for traveling to meetings, observatories, and office. You can see that supercomputing is the main source of emissions in our case. And I'm not going to get into the units here, but just take in mind that the average emission per astronomer in Australia is like 40% more than the average Australian, and globally is like 5 times higher than the average citizen in the world. So it's a huge amount of emissions. These people made an estimation. This is pre-pandemic, so they made an estimation of the emissions in 2020. And after applying some measurements, basically, after moving to renewable energies, and they saw a great improvement in the principle in supercomputing. Then, because of the pandemic, we have no emission from flights, but I mean, you all know why this happened. Also in Australia, there is a very good research job done by Lisa Kiwi, Professor Lisa Kiwi. She is the director of the Astro 3D IRC Center of Excellence. And she has done a research on how to close the gender gap in astronomy. There is this plot here on your left is the fraction of women that there are in astronomy, in academia, as a function of the career path from master students to professors. And we can see how it systematically goes down. So she made some models, some predictions to see how this curve may change, and if we are able to make it flat, to make it to preserve the amount of money that we have at master levels at a professor level, for example. So if we continue with our policies, what we are doing so far, it would take more than 60 years for reaching that goal, and probably we won't. Applying 50-50 hires policies and retention targets, we would reach that around 33% fraction of women at all levels by in 20 years from now. And this would improve, and we would reach that target in around 10 years if we also apply affirmative actions, like, for example, positions offered only for women. There are many institutions and many organizations and networks, but there are also particular persons that are doing such a great job. One of these persons is Mirjana Popovic. She's from Serbia, and she did the PhD in the Canary Islands in Spain. And after that, she moved to Ethiopia, and she has been based there since then. And she's dedicating her life basically to try to empower the people in Africa, especially the astronomy community, to put the African astronomy on the map and to help the students and improve the opportunities of all the people within there, especially young girls. She has been involved in too many projects. A lot of them, she has started a network of African women that work in astronomy, for example. She has been teaching all around Africa. She has been supervisor of the first generation of professional astronomers in Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda. Is such an amazing person. And for that, she has won many prestigious prizes. So just before finish, I would like to let you know also why I'm here. Because I'm not in any of those projects, but well, I love doing this kind of activities, especially trying to empower girls on pursue a science degree and science career. But there is one project I'm particularly interested, and everything started with a wedding, with my wedding. We decided that for our honeymoon, we wanted to go to Kenya, but we didn't want to just go to a resort, do a safari and go home. We wanted to leave something there to share our knowledge somehow. So we got in contact with Mirjana, this amazing woman I just talked about, and she put us in contact with people in Kenya. And that's how Coded in the Stars, the project Coded in the Stars began. So we spent the first 10 days of our honeymoon in Meru, a small town 5 hours north from Nairobi. And we teach their science students at the University of Meru, also PhD candidates and staff. We teach them how to code and how to program in Python using astronomical data. It was such a great experience. And after that, we kept connected with them as we become the supervisors of the research project, of a final research project of these two guys here that you can see in the third photo. They are Patrick and Caroline. So it was such a great experience. So I finish here. I just would like to leave a message of hope, because there are so many things going on there. Of course, we can do more. So if any of you have an idea, please go ahead. It's such a great experience, and I totally recommend. Me as an astronomer, we keep trying to make a better world for us. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Cristina. Yeah, I think we are about to go to do the lunch break. So if there is any questions, otherwise we can ask her outside during lunchtime. Right. Sounds good. So I think Alex has one.
Sorry, I'm holding the mic. I was just wondering about the picture you showed, that there is no planet B. Was that .us?
Yeah.
So how was that?
I mean, that's the picture of the Earth from the Voyager, I think. Voyager 1, yeah. Thank you, Andres.
The popular image the Carl Sagan shows in the Cosmos series. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. And we are going to start 10 minutes later because, you know, we have some delay at the beginning. So yeah, I'll see you in the lunch, and I hope you enjoy so far.